Hello everybody and welcome back to Freedom Fighters. This is the Rebel Base. It's the place where you can go between missions to resupply or just to have a chat. And it's also the place where you pick your missions in the first place. This place will change location and design over the course of the game, and it's pretty sweet. And as you can see, Chris has changed his outfit a little bit, and he will also continue to do so as the game progresses. Over here will be equipment stash in the future, but right now we haven't discovered any items for it. So let's have a chat with the people around.
This is our base. It's a safe zone. We store equipment here. With complete control of the sewer system, the tunnels enable us to bypass many of the Soviet roadblocks. All of our maps will indicate the location of the sewer access points. Let us go over to the table and take a look at the map.
Here we get introduced to how the gameplay actually works. Every chapter will have a map with different areas that we can enter, and we need to complete objectives and sub-objectives at the different areas. This also entails that we have to jump back and forth between areas, but I'm going to explain that in a moment.
Secure the police station and liberate our leader, Isabella. Raise your flag to signal her release. The police officers will assist you, but they need your help taking out the snipers on the nearby gas station.
And now we are on our own in the streets of New York. This is a wanted poster for a character that we will meet very soon.
Please help! We're pinned down here! Hey, listen, buddy. Grab some explosives and get back to the sewers. Go to the gas station. That's where you'll need to blow the fuel tank. Just go through the sewer you came from.
And here we get introduced to area jumping. The snipers up there don't play around. They will fucking kill you in one hit. And so we have to go to another map and remove them before we can continue on this map.
The post office is a Soviet stronghold. It is used as a supply depot to support troops advancing into the city. Your brother is being held somewhere inside. Raise your flag on the roof to signal our victory. To get near the police station, you'll have to destroy a sniper's nest on the gas station.
Yo, man, I gotta talk to you.
Yeah, man, I always enjoy to meet new characters.
Check that. You found some C4. All you gotta do now is blow the gas station.
The kit will usually provide you with a bit of intel about your current area and the missions. For instance, if I wouldn't have explosives on me, he would tell me to get some. This will be our first real confrontation with the standard Russian soldiers. The basic Russian soldiers are not very threatening in small numbers, but don't underestimate them because they are very, very capable in larger groups. This is the assault rifle. Unsurprisingly, it's the workhorse of the game, and I'm going to use it a lot. It has decent accuracy, fire rate and damage. Yeah, it's a neat weapon. And here you can see the snipers. I could shoot them, but there is really no point to it, seeing how few rounds I have in my rifle, and yep, they will kill me pretty fast. So let's do it the right way. A thing to keep in mind is that you are not invincible during actions like these. Beautiful. Our first step in the liberation of New York, and it's a pretty loud one. Well, back to the other map. Now that the snipers are gone, we can progress.
Thanks, friend. Nice to get rid of the snipers. Listen, if you're going to infiltrate the police station, I recommend you use the subway tunnel.
Ah, fuck sneaking. I'm a fighting plumber. Oh, that doesn't look good. Yeah, it's usually a bad idea to attack Soviet positions head-on. Those machine guns will ruin your day. Fortunately, there's often a way around. You just have to look for it. Enemies have a set sight radius and aggro distance. So as long as you don't cause too much of a ruckus, distant enemies are not really a problem. Killed him with the last rounds. Perfect.
Enter the police station through the parking garage, but stay low, or the soldiers will spot you.
It's a good idea to heed his advice, because when you aggro the soldiers in front of the building, yeah, you're in for a very, very bad time. Some patrols around. Oh, and what's that? Free shotgun? Yeah, I take that. Sometimes the command prompts can be a bit finicky. Let's ambush some soldiers. The shotgun is a pretty good weapon for close quarter encounters. It has a lot of damage and high rate of fire, but it's very inaccurate and you really don't want to use it at range. I just cleared out the parking garage and went on the hunt for supplies. You will see a lot of cuts like this and you can pretty much assume that I'm just cutting out stuff that you really don't need to see. It's still a good idea to be sneaky at this point. Now I have some supplies and I can do some fighting. The green ammo boxes I picked up will always give you ammo for your primary and secondary weapon, no matter what you are carrying. And here you can learn something important about the gameplay. It's not your objective to kill every soldier. Your objective is to complete your objectives. So it's usually a good idea to cover ground faster instead of being caught up in long-winded battles. I mean, you can't fully clear out positions anyway, because the Russians will periodically send reinforcements. Medkits will always heal you fully, and there are a fair number of them around. But sometimes you have to look into the nooks and crannies of the level. The shotgun really shines in this segment, but it's not really a good idea to run around with it outside. Something I would like to point out, while I'm playing on the second difficulty, this game is not particularly easy for Rambo type gameplay. You will quickly get killed if you just go against a large number of enemies. So it always pays to be a bit clever and careful. Here you can see one of the small problems of the game. Items that are placed on a higher elevation are sometimes tricky to pick up. You have to look for the right spot, and there will be instances where you will have to jump onto a surface to pick up an item that's lying there. Not the greatest ambush. Whoa, but this one was good.
Please come and rescue me!
Yes, I'm on my way, whoever you are. Well, in fact, we are going to meet a new character, and it's a very important one.
Help me!
This is Isabella Angelina, the woman the Russians were looking for in the beginning of the game.
Thanks. Don't forget the flag.
What flag? What are you talking about? Oh, right, game mechanics. Well, to conquer an area, you have to do something a little bit silly.
Hey, wait a minute. We're not going anywhere before our own colors are flying from the flagpole.
Do you see all the Russians down there? It doesn't really matter that they are there and have big-ass guns, because they will have to go home when I take down their flag and raise my own. And just like that, we have conquered our first area. This screen has some useless stats that you may wanna marvel at. But I don't really care about them. So let's get back to base.
Excellent work demolishing the fuel station. We're able to move around at our leisure now that the snipers are gone.
Characters will often comment on you completing some objectives, but don't count on me showing off every little speech blurb in the game.
Follow me, Chris. I'll take you to the safe house.
This is the second part of the tutorial, and that's the more important one, I want to say. Let's just follow Isabella and let's see what happens.
Isabella, you're back!
Yes, and I owe it all to this man.
Hey, you must be Chris. Come on in.
Sorry. I'm just really amused by all the Jersey accents that you will be hearing in the game. I like it.
This is only a temporary base. We're using it as a staging place for this mission. Let's plan our next move. Like it or not, you have a new profession now. Freedom fighter.
Isabella will now introduce us to the core mechanic of the game, which is controlling the freedom fighters that you can recruit. And the game does a good job at laying out the basics, so I'm going to leave that standing on its own.
Here we have an overview of the enemy compound. You can see them unloading equipment. They're using this post office as a temporary command center, and planning further advances into the city from here. It would really set them back if we recaptured this area. You won't be alone. Ever since you proved yourself by rescuing me, people are starting to believe in you. I'll let you lead 2 of my best men into action.
Move out!
Roger that. Let's roll.
Get over here!
I'm your man, sir.
As long as they are recruited, these guys will follow you wherever you go, just like bodyguards. Now go fight. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am. Now that I have some fighters under my control, let me show off the very simple and effective control system. It's a 3-button control system and it works really well. If you use the iron sight button, you can give them specific orders which will make them go to the place where you are aiming at.
Watch for report any activity.
Let's see what's around here.
Telling them to attack will make them move to the spot you have designated, and then they will start to fight dudes from there. The downside is that they will often ignore enemies on the way, so be mindful of that.
Stand your ground! Yes, sir.
Giving them a defense order will make them stay put in the place you designated, and they will take cover and attack enemies as they come in view.
Abort! Regroup!
And lastly, you can recall all your fighters to your position. You can also issue orders without being in iron sight mode, and attack orders will roughly count in the direction you're looking at, and defense orders will just count for the area you are in. And there is one last little thing into the control system. Instead of issuing orders for each of your freedom fighters, you can also issue group orders. This is extremely useful when your group gets bigger, because you can control a maximum of 12 guys, and micromanaging them is a real pain. The way you issue group orders is, instead of just tapping your button, you hold it down for a second. And now it's time to put what we have just learned to good use.
Remember, you are the leader. You can issue your men commands.
Take them out! Wipe
Good.
them out!
Your men will fight every enemy in the direction you're pointing them.
Pull out!
How the fuck did he survive that?
This is an important vantage point. Gives you an overview of the battlefield, useful for strategic maneuvers. From here you can command your troops and cover them at the same time.
Covering them with the shotgun isn't a really good idea, but I sure can command them. Of course, this is a tutorial battle to get used to controlling your freedom fighters, but on the other hand, this is a good sneak peek of how Soviet positions will look. They will always have good fortifications, a lot of soldiers, and more often than not some emplaced weapons, so it's a dumb idea to just assault them head on. For the most part, there will be ways to flank or avoid Soviet positions, but there will also be times where you just have to duke it out. And here you can see how I will be playing the game for the most part. I'll use freedom fighters to draw the attention of the enemies, and then I personally will flank around, cause some mischief, or do some special things. One thing I would like to point out is that you will be able to control more freedom fighters once you raise your charisma level. The brunt of your charisma will come from completing objectives, but there's also another way to gain charisma, which I will show off in a second.
Regroup! Regroup!
Great. You're a true leader. No, sometimes it's important to know when to fall back.
You can also pull off a melee attack here, no matter what you have equipped. Of course, doing it with the wrench does more damage, but it's still very handy in tight quarters or if you want to save ammo. And now let me show you the other way how you can gain charisma. At the cost of a medkit, you can heal wounded civilians.
Here, take this.
Several of them are hidden throughout the game, but it's not really required that you look for them. You will still max out your freedom fighter slots by the end of the game if you don't care about civilians. But hunting for them will make you gain charisma faster, so yeah, it's a good idea. And before we finish this level, there is a little secret. Let me just speed this up here. Because in this alley there is another wounded civilian that I want to get.
Take this.
Thanks, mister.
Sometimes they will also have a bit of information about the level that you are currently in.
Remember to check the map once in a while.
Checking out the map can be useful because it will help you in finding your routes through the level and around Soviet fortifications. And don't mind me, I'm just removing all the explosives in the area because I want to fight there.
Defend here! Defend here! Defend!
And here I make a little mistake, because this defense position isn't the best for the fighter on the right. Yep, there he's getting flanked. Freedom fighters will either die on the spot or will get wounded. If they are wounded, you can pick them up with a medkit. If you don't want to pick them up with a medkit or just don't have any, you can recruit fresh ones that will then replace the wounded ones. And you're also not in a hurry because wounded fighters will not bleed out. But don't see your fighters as cannon fodder because there's only a limited amount of them per level, and if you run out you will have to restart.
Get back here! All of you! Falling in, sir. Find the enemy. Everybody! Roger. Chris! Where are you? Pull out! All of you!
Roger, let's go. Hey, bro. It's damn good to see you. I knew you'd come looking for me.
Yeah, of course, bro, I wouldn't leave you hanging. What the fuck, bro? Why you're not warning me about the one rush in here? You're just standing there looking at him. And here we get a quick peek at a new enemy type. The burly guy with the beret is a Russian officer. They have much more health and wield shotguns, and they will be common enemies in the later stages of the game. And here I was lucky enough to spot that transport chopper. As I've told you, the Russians will periodically reinforce their positions, so you can't just kill everybody in the area and be done with it. But for the most part, reinforcements will come quicker than this. But it's time to finish this level. Hey, wait a minute. No. Yeah, that is a good angle. And that's it for the first chapter of Freedom Fighters. Enjoy the following cutscene and see you next time.
This is Tatiana Kempinski at SAFN Studios in New York. In today's headlines, a downtown precinct was attacked by rebels earlier today. The attackers freed several rebel detainees. There are reports of many casualties. Several witnesses confirmed that the raid was carried out by a small group of armed rebels, headed by an individual who authorities believe to be the new leader of the resistance. Isabella Angelini, seen in these pictures, is an important member of the underground resistance movement, and the operation looked like a carefully planned and executed rescue attempt. The group was led by a shadowy figure as yet unidentified, but believed to be a male Caucasian in his early 30s. Earlier today I interviewed our leader, General Tatarin, on the situation.
This sort of action against the Soviet Liberation Army will not be tolerated. And such attacks only increase tension here. However, I assure you that this was an isolated event and we have restored peace and stability.
That was General Tatarin earlier today. On the phone now from Governor's Island is Comrade Colonel Boba, head of KGB.
Comrade Kempinski, these people are not rebels from proletariat. This freedom phantom is vigilante, a terrorist. But they are few and will be executed when caught. After a trial, of course.
And on this reassuring note, let's look at the forecast. What's in store for us on weather front tomorrow, Comrade Ilyana?